Hi, Kit. Wow, I see you've done a lot of work here. So let's see what you wrote. This is the one about shops, and then you've got your letter. Okay, so experts throughout both the developing and the developed world have debated whether an extended operating hour for retail shop is more beneficial or is it more of a negative development. All right, we have to change some of the grammar in this sentence. Let's try it again. And some of the words actually. Experts throughout both the developing and developed world, you didn't need that have debated whether, get rid of an, extended operating hours, plural, for retail shops, plural, is more beneficial, or if it is more of a negative development. You're not asking a question here, okay? So it has to be sentence form. Some people believe that it is an advantage, and personally, I strongly agree. This essay will argue that the extended business hours, get rid of that extended business hours for shops will be more of a benefit, using research conducted by the UK government and Harvard University to demonstrate points and prove arguments. Okay, fine. On the one hand, there is ample evidence suggesting that extended business hours will not benefit shops. Get rid of the. We have to discuss rules about the with plurals. There are specific rules for when we use them. Usually we don't, except as I said, in specific instances. So please refer to a good grammar book about grammar rules with the, or you can look online, or if you need some help, maybe we can help you find some as well, okay? So the central reason behind this is that extended operating hours will not guarantee more revenue. Shop owners, S, should take into consideration several factors, which include the additional manpower needed, overtime costs, S, overhead expenses, and most especially the tax incurred that comes with the additional expenses. Okay. For example, recent empirical research by the UK government showed that 78% of shops lost an average of 12% net income, you didn't need that of, after they took into consideration, didn't you just write that expression here? Yeah. After they, how about calculated all their expenses when they added an additional 50 hours of operation in a week? Therefore, it is conclusively clear that more operating time does not equate to more revenue. Okay, that was good. Okay, on the other hand, although there is a case for not having enough revenue to justify extended operating hours, okay, get rid of the, and then an S here, but I have to mention something. You've used this expression now several times, and I realize that they have, extended business hours here, and you've made it either extended operating hours or extended business hours, but I really think you could have found other alternatives for this expression, maybe like longer hours of operation or a longer business day or something, but not the same expression because I now feel like I've read it several times just in the first two paragraphs alone. So I would have liked to see some different phrasing of this, okay? Let's see. So on the other hand, although there is a case for not having enough revenue to justify a longer business day, because of the added operating costs, S, the benefits of the extension of the shop hours, okay, the benefits of, how about this? The benefits of extending shop hours cannot be overestimated. This is largely because, no comma, the local economy will thrive. The economic effects in terms of sales, employment, and prices can be substantial. And the reason for this is that, no comma here, this will increase sales as more people will have more facilities to buy. That doesn't make sense. What do you mean more facilities to buy? I think you mean more places to shop, really, not to buy, and will increase labor productivity. How do you know that? Okay, that's the kind of thing that you need to substantiate here with something. In addition, other sectors will also benefit. This may include the service industry, where the demand of manpower will increase due to the extended operation, and the energy sector, where the boost of income because of additional electricity needed to operate shops, you didn't need a comma there, may lead to further improve their services. Okay, for example, an extensive study by Harvard University showed that shops had an increase of 60% in revenue since people have more disposable income because of the booming of the economy. Okay. From the arguments given, I firmly believe that the extended opening hours of shops S is more of an advantage than disadvantage. It is predicted that shops that are open most hours of the day will increasingly grow in importance due to the different work schedules of individuals. Okay, it's fine. I did have to correct a number of things here. In terms of grammar, all right, there were like little grammatical things, like you missed a ton of plurals that you should have included. And then, of course, there was that consistent problem with the, and then there was not really a big range in vocabulary as far as the rephrasing of the prompt is concerned. So those were some things that I wanted to see improved a little bit. The rest of it, though, was very well done. It was extended. It was cohesive. So all of that is very good. Just the areas that I mentioned need to be worked on. All right, kids, so let's take a look here about this restaurant you went to. Okay, not to the manager. All right, let's start it with to whom it may concern or dear restaurant manager or something. You will see on the exam day that it will tell you how to start your letter. Typically it says dear ... but do be aware of it. Look out for it when you get it. So let's see what we said here. So dear restaurant manager, I visited your restaurant. Okay, hold on a second. Where is the introduction? So you go right into going your day at the restaurant, but what we need to know is the purpose for writing. Always. That's always the first thing we write about in a letter. So you have to start with that. Dear manager, I am writing regarding the negative experience I had at your establishment on June 26th. Allow me to elaborate on the details below. Okay, and then you can get into all of this, but you absolutely need to include a purpose. Okay, so that's the first thing that we always write in a letter, at least in a formal letter. Okay, let's move on. So I visited your restaurant on the 26th of June for dinner with my wife. We ordered Thai food and requested the waiter for the soup of the day. We requested, no, you didn't request the waiter, because that means you asked, you wanted the waiter. Okay, and that's not what you're trying to say. We ordered Thai food and requested that the waiter bring us the soup of the day first. Okay, the soup came after a long wait and turned out to be stale. Despite reporting the same to your chef, he was condescending and rude. No, you can't do that because it's as if he reported it. So that doesn't make sense. So despite the fact that we reported this to your chef, he was condescending and rude and asked us to go look for another restaurant instead. When we reached home, my wife started complaining of discomfort. Full stop. Okay, you've got a lot of things happening here, so full stop here. Started complaining of discomfort. I thought it would go away after a night's apostrophe S sleep, but when we woke up, she was still in pain. I rushed her to the hospital where the doctors declared food poisoning. I request you to kindly investigate and act against the staff on duty for their negligence and unacceptable behavior. I'm sending a copy of hospital bills and medications for reimbursement, failure of which I will take up the case. This is awkward. To the National Environment Agency for stringent action against your restaurant. All right, this section is awkward. I'd like it to be rewritten. And then the last thing here, Kitt, is that you end your letter with sincerely. But remember, when we don't know the name of the person we are writing to, the closing has to be yours faithfully. So that's another thing you had to add here. All right, so there's work to be done with this letter. There's a few things that you missed. Mainly the introduction, okay, the purpose for your writing, and then of course this ending. These are things that examiners look at, I assure you. So be aware of it and make effort to correct it. All right, so go ahead and get that done, and we'll look forward to another essay from you. Good luck.